Oh shit.
So, depending on if you seen my last video, where I briefly said in the comments that I'd be taking a trip out of town, what I really meant was out of country, because I went to Japan. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, I went to Japan. Be jealous. I went to visit some relatives there, but today we're not going to be talking about that just yet. No, because some other things have gone into my attention, such as the airport flights to get there. First things first. I went to the LAX airport for the international airlines, and so much has changed. In all fairness, the last time I went anywhere out of country, I was maybe like 10, if not younger. And that was a time where everything was in person. But now, there's so many machines and self-checkouts, I felt like I was at Walmart. I was stressing out. Now, I'm not gonna say that I miss the personal one-on-one experience between staff and customer. I honestly don't care if I'm talking to a person or robot. But when I don't know how to use said robot, I tend to miss the social interaction of the other person doing all the hard stuff for me as I just wait in line. There's this whole new process where they ask you a ton of random questions, then you scan your passport, and then you look at the screen, and they basically just take a mugshot picture of you, and apparently you're all set. It sounds super simple, until one of these images pop up, and then you're like, what do I do now? And then you just try to awkwardly grab the attention of the only worker there that is already trying to help out like 2 other families. So you just stand there feeling uncomfortable, like you're holding up the whole line. But everything else seems the same. You put your crap in the bin, they scan it, scan you, and then you wait like 2 hours before your flight starts. So that's your cue to eat overpriced lunch, look at overpriced souvenirs, and sit in chairs that are so stiff that your butt will go numb after a few minutes. I forgot how big the LAX airports are. Like from first glance, all you see are tons and tons of name brand stores, and you just forget that you're in an airport and not in a mall. If I was by myself, I would probably get lost or get distracted and miss my flight. But anyways, the waiting room. There, you most likely meet a few different staple people in any airport. First and foremost, the sleeper. That was literally the first thing I saw when entering the waiting section. There was just this one guy, shoes off, taking up 3 seats, AirPods in, snoozing away. Personally, I don't know how people can do this so casually. I'm not saying this in an insulting way. I wish I could do this and just not care that literally everyone can see your dogs out. You don't care if you miss your flight because you magically wake up 10 minutes before and snooze away all your social cares. Honestly, I saw a few of these guys and they look more like they live there than they're waiting for their flight. Anyways, number 2. The huge family vacationers. I literally once saw a family of 4, the mom completely exhausted and zoned out like she hasn't slept for days, with a crying baby in one hand, and a little boy who was always watching Cocomelon on the other. A dad to her left just chilling on his phone, and then 2 girls with their suitcase wide open just making a huge mess all over their floor. There are different versions of these people. Sometimes you see the mom yelling at her kids, "Timmy, get your hand out of there! You don't know where it's been." Or instead of the dad being on his phone, he would be waving down talking to a staff member. But overall, it's just a perfect sight to see. I wanted to take a picture of this and make it into a postcard or souvenir and sell it. This is the definition of the waiting room of an airport. Anyways, number 3, the business guy. These guys are everywhere, making the waiting room look like their own personal office. Suit and tie, bags under their eyes, chargers everywhere, face focused, one hand clacking on a laptop keyboard, and the other with an Apple tablet, plus the occasional tap on the phone to see for messages or the time.